For me, this story it starts January 5th of 2013. Um, because although what we're doing isn't about me, it's very personal for me. Because when I was in the middle of having a heart attack in January of 2013, I cried out to God, not yet. I knew there was some work for me to do in Mexico. And a few months after that, I think it was in April of 2013, we were at a board meeting and Rob mentioned that a woman we knew in Mexico that we had worked with, she was considering selling two of her daughters. We did step in and we prevented that from happening. But in talking to some of the local pastors, we found out that this was very common. Sadly, it's something that happens all the time. And I think because God was ready for us to know about it, over the next few months, we started learning more and more things, more and more situations of abuse. Abuse by caregivers, abuse by people in authority. The 12-year-old daughter of a widow that we were going to build a house for who was pregnant. And we came to the realization that we had to do something about it. It says in Hebrews 13:3 to remember the mistreated as if it was you yourself that was being mistreated. It's a hard thing to take on the pain of a 12-year-old girl who's being constantly abused. But that's exactly what God calls us to do. And He doesn't just call us to take on that pain. He calls us to go and get her. We're starting to build a building that will bring a loving, nurturing environment to children that are in dangerous and abusive situations. And we'll show them a loving God. We'll show them that God is good. And hopefully we will introduce them to a lifelong walk with Christ. Our goal isn't just to rescue these kids from abuse, but to bring them not only healing through counseling, but to give them the fullest life possible, to give them opportunities that they wouldn't have had otherwise, in the form of education. And it's partly because the girls that we rescue they'll be the spearhead of cultural change. Education is going to be a huge part of what we do. It's all part of addressing all of the needs of these children, not just their spiritual needs, not just their physical needs, but everything. The Bible speaks about that if we don't have love, then we don't have anything. But what is love? And if I want to say that I love the people in Mexico, how can I love these kids and not want to rescue them? That's just not the definition of love to me. It's a hollow love. It's an empty love. It's not real love. I'm lying to myself if I say I love them, but I won't do everything I can to alleviate their suffering. Only eternity will really erase all of the scars of the abuse that these kids have suffered. But we will do everything we can to bring them as much healing as we can. It's definitely something that we can't do alone. We're going to need an army of people to build this building and to support it, to support it with prayer, to support it with their hands, and to support it financially. And lives hang in the balance, and I can't think of anything more worthwhile to do with our lives. There's a passage in the Bible where God is appalled that He can't find someone to stand in the gap. This is not one of those situations. We're finding a lot of people, a lot of volunteers that will stand in the gap, because these are our kids. These kids have been given to us, and they are our kids, and we don't want to lose one of them. We want to give them everything that we'd want to give our own kids.